And apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the delay, but a quick score right here from North Smithfield, and that's off the back of number 18, and that's Caden Artruse. So EG already has a 2-0 lead at the start of this one, but North Smithfield able to even the score with 18:02 left on the clock, and we sit at 2-1 now in this one. We thank you all for tuning in. We'd like to first off start by apologizing to all the viewers for the technical difficulties, but we have worked through them, and we can reassure you that we are back and ready to go here. Once again, day 2 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic here from Levy Ice Rink in Burrillville, Rhode Island. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Chris Hitu, joined alongside my fellow commentator, Nick Carlson. Nick, how are we doing today, my man?
Doing good. Now that we're back on the stream, feeling a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. And big special thanks to our technical support staff here at Fans Only Sports Network. Thank you all for bearing with us. We are here to give you more action from East Greenwich and North Smithfield here in Game 2 of 3 of today's trio of games. Once again from the Burrillville Holiday Classic. In the zone, North Smithfield trying to move this puck back to neutral ice. And East Greenwich now taking that puck away. Nearly intercepted in the zone that time. And East Greenwich trying to play some keep up by Camden Governo. Governo takes the shot on the man in net. And that's number 30, Wyatt Gilheiser for East Greenwich. And on the right side, same man from yesterday, Michael Tremblay in net for the Northmen. Taking this one up from the net, Will O'Connell. And now passing off to Governo. Governo crosses into the offensive zone. And it'll cut back up front over to Connell. Back to the neutral ice, dumped away. And right in front, big save. That was a big scoring opportunity as Gelheiser makes the stop. And the Northmen take another chance on that. North Smithfield yesterday managed to come in here and play very competitive against a Burrillville squad. Final score in that one, Burrillville 4, North Smithfield 3. But East Greenwich only had one goal yesterday in an overtime loss to the Cumberland Clippers, and that was a tight one. And we expect to see some more strong performances throughout the afternoon from all teams here in this tournament. This puck right in front, nearly knocked in by the defender, but it's going to go behind the net and wrap around the boards back to the near side. And still onside as North Smithfield managed to get a dump in and a line change. Back to neutral ice was Arsenal. Giving it off now to Dorley. Dorley dumps it into the zone, and he'll retreat to the bench, along with a smashing of others, and a couple more new skates for both sides. Dumped into the zone one last time before it comes back to neutral ice. Shepherded by Kiernan, and he tries to get a clean dump off, but it's taken away by Jackson Boys. Boys chasing down Kiernan. Kiernan able to wrap it around the far side. Cleared back at neutral ice. Dunwoody gets the dump in. And the puck back on the near side glass. Coming back to center. Rennick with the dump in. Trying to set up Carney, and the shot right on Tamden. Puck exposed on the right side. Still on his back. Unable to get up with the puck. Escapes the danger, and the Northmen dodge a really big bullet right there, Nick.
Absolutely, and already being down 2-1 in the opening 5 minutes of this one. If you're North Smithfield, you got to put your foot down now.
And putting their foot down, they better. Heading back into their defensive zone. Taken around the backside here is Piscalis. Piscalis had the lone goal for the Avengers in yesterday's game, and he looks to keep up the production. A huge trip up that time on Connell as Piscalis is trying to get set. Taking it behind the net now. And he feeds it back up to center. Taken away now by Nate Gravel. He had a couple of the goals yesterday. Gravel, this puck tipped. And Gelheiser will glove this one down wisely.
We're going to have to check with our stat department on that one, Chris. That was not the intention of that. I believe that was supposed to be a cross-ice pass, but hits a body in traffic and almost trickled in.
And as the puck hits the floor, we're back in action on the near side boards. And taken back to center ice. Going in the opposite direction, but a good chance, a good setup that time. Poked away from Tremblay in the net. This one dangled in the slot as it comes back to center. Michael Tober, who already has a goal in this one, with the chance, but it's quickly shut down by Tremblay. Connell will head up ice over to Governo. Governo, puck bounced off the boards. As both sides continue to fight, hand up. We got a delayed penalty coming. We're going to take Tremblay out of the net. We're still waiting for an EG player to touch this one, and here's the penalty. So, and he already knew it. That's number 9, Michael Tober, heading to the penalty box for a trip. The North Smithfield only trails by a score of 1, and now they'll go on the power play for the first time today. And put 2 minutes on the board in favor of North Smithfield. At the point, it's dumped in over the top of the net from Champaign. And Governo trying to do his best to fight for this puck. It's trapped down that time at the point and dumped in for Governo behind net. Struggling to get away from Kiernan. And this one, slap shot from Champagne, bouncing off of Gelheiser. And they'll keep up the attack. Witten tries to get the shot off. And the puck traveling behind the net. Governo struggling to hold possession. This one scooped up. Another one coming down hard as Governo tried to deflect it into the net. And Gelheiser avoids the damage with a save that time as Brandon Boudreau sent one right at him. 12:01 remaining in this first half of action. Your score sits at 2-1 East Greenwich. Let's get a word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For more information and consultation, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And then finally by RR Elite Recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to RR Elite Recruits. Visit www.rreliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. Back to center. And now into the attacking zone, trying to use the skates to kick this puck ahead. That time was Artichus. And another one. This one rifled off to the right. And O'Connell has to chase this one down. And he'll get the pass up ice that time. Trying to lead Caden Artichus. And icing going to be the call on the floor. 30 seconds remain on the penalty. And EG's PK unit has done itself a pretty solid job. But the Northmen, with only 30 seconds left, they'll have to finish off this power play starting from within their own end. And taken behind the net that time by Gansett Champagne. Champagne with the leading pass, led Boudreau a little too much. And the Avengers clear it. But here comes Nate Gravel, or Logan Witten, excuse me, passing it off. Shot rifled down right in front as Boudreau tried to deflect it in. Gelheiser does the job as Champagne stops it at the blue line. Giving it off to Boudreau. Boudreau, and cleared back to center. And the penalty expires as Tober came out of the box. Regnante with the leading pass that time to Dorley. Dorley a little tangled up as the puck's displaced, but we got a whistle. It looks like we'll have an offsides called against the Northmen. And actually a penalty going to go against the Northmen. That's Camden Governo skating over to the box.
So it looks like it's going to be 2 minutes for interference.
So interference, the call on the floor on Camden Governo. And they'll face off. EG on the power play, including having the lead in this one. Andriozzi feeding it off that time to Healy. Mike Healy down into the slot to Arsenal. Andriozzi coming down. This one bouncing off of Tremblay. And the puck cleared back to center ice. Andriozzi feeds it back up that time to Tober. Tober up to center ice to Healy. Healy the feed back to Tober. And they'll have to reset as Pascalis takes it through center. Trying to redirect. He gets it back up to Healy, and Healy dumps it into the zone off to the right side. And keeping it at the point. Healy nearly crossed that blue line. Andriozzi trying to feed it to Arsenal in the slot. That was a great setup on the one-timer, but the Northman D standing up tall. And this one effectively cleared as that was Alex Pickering. Clear the puck back to center. Now the send up. Over to Pascalis. Under a minute to go in the power play as Healy dumps it in. Wrapped around to the far side as Arsenal finds it up against the boards. As a man picking at the skates, poking it, and that one a little wide from Pascalis. And back to the point. Andriozzi leading it off to Pascalis. Back to Andriozzi. Back to Healy at the top. Andriozzi trying to find that exposure. It bounces off. And that time, Tober was trying to finish off the rebound. A great stop by Tremblay. And the Northmen nearly clear this puck. Under 20 seconds to go. Back to Healy in the slot. It bounces off the post, and Arsenal had the whole right side exposed. And whiffs on that shot. And the Northmen clear the puck one last time. They nearly saw one travel across the net. Lucky it bounced off the top of the brim. And they're back to full strength. Tober crossing the blue line through center. And now sending it back to Nate Gravel. Nate Gravel. It's poked away from Lenny Kiernan. Chase Pascalis. Some new skaters out. He gets it to Arsenal. And right in front of the visiting bench, it's dumped away. And now it'll retreat back to the left side. Sonny Arsenal wraps around the near side boards. This one floating in front of the home bench. And dumped back the other way by Connell. And sent into the zone from Arbitruse. Kiernan tries to get it up towards Carney. Carney, or in this case, John Kiernan. Kiernan, a little wide to the left, but it sets up Peter Dorley and intercepted by Connell. Great job there. And now Nate Gravel. Gravel rifles one right there at Gelheiser. And the puck behind the net. We got a whistle to stop play. And we'll have a face-off. So a lot just happened on that last play, Nick, and North Smithfield definitely a little bit lucky on that power play, but they were fortunate enough not to have that goal go through the threshold.
Absolutely. EG has done a great job opening up those passing lanes and keeping them open. North Smithfield, we're not seeing a whole bunch of pressure in their own defensive third. If you're North Smithfield, you got to kick up the intensity.
And we've seen them be able to produce some strong intensity, and it usually comes after goal scores. We need to see that carry over just a little bit more on the face-off. Hits off the protective glass and dumped back in the opposite way. Wrapped around to Carney, and Carney leading and giving it off to John Kiernan. Kiernan trying to navigate around Champagne. Kiernan and Champagne, great job not giving up on the plays. He poked that puck off to the near side boards. Governo trying to expose the defense, and this one's given back up to Dunwoody. Dunwoody back to Kiernan. Kiernan trying to send one right at Tremblay. Trying to find the back door was Carney. And the Northmen keep avoiding shots on net. But the Avengers send another one down, and Tremblay makes the stop. 6:53 to go in this first half of action. So we play back-to-back 22.5-minute halves. We'll have a nice little intermission in between to let the Zamboni resurface. But don't go anywhere. We got games the rest of the day. North Smithfield versus EG to kick it off, followed by Moses Brown and Burrville, and then Cumberland and Bonagansett to finish off the evening. Wrapped around back to the other side. And Connell bouncing it off the backboards. Keep this puck in play for his unit. Artatruce giving it off to Gravel. Nate Gravel through center. Has a wide open lane to take a chance. In the corner. Shot, score. Northman tied things up at 2. We told you early on to look out for Nate Gravel. This kid, he's quite a sharpshooter when it comes to putting the stick on the puck. Evens things up at 2 apiece. And we get a stoppage at play. Dead silent in the arena as of this point. And we're just waiting for them to get set at center. And we're back. Nate Gravel's production is only what's going to keep this Northman crew going. This time a good chance as Chase Piscalis is trying to lead Andriozzi. Andriozzi does it himself, but shouldn't give that. But wow, a nice opposite side to the stick. Didn't expect that one, and EG takes the lead right back.
Perfect 1-2 pass right down the lane, and then Andrew had all the time in the world. Tremblay maybe a little too far out for what he would have liked, but nonetheless, EG able to retake the lead at 3-2.
And this is kind of what happened yesterday. EG, they've been a team that's been very good in this tournament so far at responding to goals that are scored on them. They usually find the confidence to retake that lead. And gloved up that time by Gelheiser. But a big improvement from what we saw yesterday. This team struggled to score goals. They already had 3 to start off here in the first half. This is probably the highest scoring game we've had in the tournament so far. .556 to go as we face off on the NS side, or excuse me, the EG side. And intercepted right in front, trying to set up a man. It's dumped away. Gravel trying to backhand it. Gravel sends another one off of Gelheiser. A man in the vicinity, that was Caden Artatruce. However, unable to capitalize. Here comes Mike Tober. Tober navigating around Champaign. Tober using the speed to his advantage as he goes around the cage to the near side. Trying to set up Kiernan. Kiernan trying to poke it away from the defenders. And the puck traveling across ice. A good chance, a good setup for Tober. Tober's going to have to reassess. Intercepted by Gravel and poked the opposite way. Nate Gravel with the possession. And he'll poke this one away. And the Avengers. A little bit of miscommunication back at center. Matt Madden trying to shepherd the puck away for the Northmen. And wrapped around by Dunwoody through center. Pickering flips one right at Gelheiser, and he'll go off to the left side. Hard check into the board, but Boudreau keeping it in play, trying to set up Connell. It bounces off some defenders. It's a good setup as Boudreau fell to the ground on trying to set up the chance on net. It was a valiant effort. But EG avoids damage as they clear this one back into the North Smithfield side of the ice. Pickering brings it to the blue line, past the blue line, and the Avengers get set on side. Madden has it poked away from Witten. Logan Witten trying to navigate as the puck continues to be displaced, and the Avengers Flip it around the far side boards. The Northmen keep it in the attacking zone. Witten giving it off that time to Governo. Governo trying to find the separation. He gets it back to Connell. Connell looks for the opening. Fires. Bounce off of Gilheiser, and it will go back to center off the deflection. About 3.5 minutes to go. Score 3-2. The Avengers lead the Northmen in the early first half. Or in the late minutes in this case. And the puck trying to find possession. Cameron Smith comes up with it, and will head behind the backside as a Northman defender finds this puck. It's trapped at the blue line and dumped back in. Smith over that time to LaPierre. At the top of the zone to Dorley. Dorley, that one rifles off defenders, but it's still in play for the Avengers. And trying to set him up, the shot! Tremblay with the save. No, they're going to call it a goal. Wow. Give credit to the goal that time. I'm trying to see the number. It's going to be number 4, I want to say. For number 16. And that's Zachary LaPierre. Just like that, before we hit the halftime break, the Avengers take a 4-2 lead with 2:56 to go in regulation. That was just a great setup all around, Nick. And a delayed penalty called. And we don't have the jersey number for number 17. Unfortunately. But he'll head to the box for 2 minutes. Must have been too many men on the ice, potentially. And the face-off cleared immediately by the Northmen. Gilheiser to trap it down for Lenny Kiernan. Back to center ice. Piscalis leading Dorley. Dorley dumps this one into the zone. Healy back to the point, over to Kiernan. Piscalis dumps it off to Healy. Healy trying to avoid damage. Andriozzi can't glove the puck down. And taken away from Jackson Boys. Trapped in front of the home bench. Piscalis will head in the opposite way. Navigating through the defenders. Lets the puck lead ahead of him a bit. Try to backhand it. A great skating stop by Champagne. And the Northmen clear the puck one more time. 2 minutes to go in the first half. And the Avengers trying to make it 5-2. They lead comfortably now at this rate. Still a lot of time to go. And a lazy stop there of the puck. But the Northmen clear it one more time with under a minute to go. On the power play. Dorley gives it up ice there to Smith. Smith heading back through center. Cam Smith spoked off to the right and cleared. Nope, trapped down at the blue line, and the Avengers keep it onside. Behind the back, and that was not the intention of Quinn Iltris. And he'll head back up to Dufresne at center. Dufresne sent that the opposite way. Avengers really shooting themselves in the foot on the power play in these last few seconds. There's some pokes coming from Witten, and it's poked away, back by Artatreus. Artatreus on top of it. Penalty expires. Northmen back to full strength. Under 50 seconds and a chance to try and get a shot on net. Gravel lays out to keep the puck in play. Shot off of Gilheiser off to the left. They keep it onside, and the defender was in the way of Caden Artatreus. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Northmen need one final push. The Avengers come up with the possession. Kiernan off to Dorley. And dumped back in by Arsenal. Tremblay to stop this puck with just 16 solid seconds to go. Let's get a word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation and information, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And by our Elite Recruits, access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports for high school athletes looking to be seen and play at the next level. Go to Our Elite Recruits. Visit www.oureliterecruits.com to sign for more information. Through center, Witten trying to bring it back up, and it's trapped away by Kiernan. Kiernan knows he doesn't have much time. Rifles one at Tremblay, and nobody can come up with the puck. And that will end the first half of action. Score 4-2 as the East Greenwich Avengers lead the North Smithfield Northmen. We'll be right back for the start of the second half while the Zamboni works its magic here in Game 1 of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. East Greenwich leading North Smithfield. We'll be right back right here on Fans Only Sports Network. In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! The handball shot, off the post, score!
First right kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher, shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Fires, deflected, no, rebound, score! shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
Throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
And fires. Deflected. No. Rebound. Score!
The handball shot! Off the post, score!
First try kick. Goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score!
Cornell down the field, end zone. That is a touchdown.
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score!
Cornell down the field, end zone. That is a touchdown.
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post. Score!
Gonna try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher. Shot score!
Cornell down the field, end zone. That is a touchdown.
In and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
Comes in, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Burrillville Holiday Classic matchup between the North Smithfield Northmen and the East Greenwich Avengers. Chris Hitu and Nick Carlson taking you through the plays. Nick, that was a very high-scoring first half, and we're likely to see more scores come here in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. East Greenwich started off hot. 2 goals in 2 minutes of play, and back and forth throughout the rest of the first half. Interesting to see how this second half is going to start.
And we'll see how the rest of it plays out. Back underway, face-off draw at center. Nate Gravel dumping it in for the Northmen. Gelheiser, to poke the puck away. And a chance right in front. The puck scampers off to the left. A cluster of players right in front of the net. And Northmen trying to keep the puck moving in their offensive zone. They trail by 2 as East Greenwich leads this one 4-2. This one bouncing off of Gelheiser's pads. Hard wrister. And the Northmen trying to do their best to keep the puck in play. Poked into the zone by Champagne. He'll take it further in. Wrapped around the backside by Boudreau. And no Northman there, and it's managed to clear to center ice, but it'll just come back to the same place it started, icing the call on the floor. .35 on the clock. And as play ensues. And puck going around the backside. That was Chase Piscalis, and now at the blue line. Taken away this time from Lenny Kiernan. And that center dumped off to Andriozzi. Andriozzi, the speedster, already has a goal in this one, trying to get his unit set up. On the far side, it's wrapped away by Boudreau. And unable to find it was Witten. And the puck still dangling around a whole bunch. It's cleared back to center effectively by Pickering. Dumped back into neutral ice, and now brought up by Sonny Arsenal. Arsenal trying to bring it around himself. And at the point, it's dumped back down to Arsenal. Arsenal bouncing it off the skates, and the Avengers need to get back on side as it's dumped in. Unfortunately, it didn't hit John Kiernan, and Kiernan will dump it back into the zone. Connell bouncing it off the penalty glass, and we'll get a face-off back on the Northman side of the ice. Not a lot of movement, but some scoring opportunities being presented, just not able to capitalize so far.
Don't know if it's the playing surface, Chris, or just an off day for a lot of people. We're seeing a lot of kids blow tires and a lot of easy passes that are just not connecting.
Yep, we're trying to see how they synchronize here in the second half. Obviously, some rest and discussion of the locker room will always kind of take people off their game a little bit. But we'll see some opportunities come forth. That was nearly a chance for Jackson Boys. Jackson Boys trying to get a shot off net, or excuse me, number 22. We don't seem to have his name on our roster sheet. They're taking a chance for the Northmen. And back to center. Dance of Champagne with the dump in. And the Northmen get some fresh skates out. Kept into the zone. And being brought back up ice by Lenny Kiernan and leading Nicholas Regnante, a little too much. And the Northmen will try again. Trying to cut back into the slot, poked away from Dufresne. And puck dumped back in around the backside. Kiernan with the pass that time to Idaris. And now off to Dufresne. Sent across into the offensive zone, and now back at center. Avengers stop it down. They'll bring it across the blue line. Idaris, and that shot coming from Dufresne, and it'll stop at the blue line by Dorley. Dorley trying to kick it back in. They're all tied up, and we got a delayed penalty. It looks like it's going to come against Dorley. And Peter Dorley knows he's the culprit of that one. He's going to head to the box for 2 minutes. And the call for a hold with 18:38 left to go. So the Northmen get a chance to bring this score within one. And Gravel can't seem to come away. Yes, he does. He'll get the face-off win. Shot coming rifling down off of Gelheiser. That was the 19 of Pickering. Pickering going to give it off that time to Boys. And Boys, it's cleared as the defense is there to make a key stop. Tremblay lets this one escape a little bit. And now Caden Rudick sent all the way across. And the Northmen ice this puck with 1:29 left to go on the penalty. And they'll face off. Off the face-off, Northmen trying to come up with it, but it's dumped back in that time from the 20 of Mike Healy. Connell feeding it to Witten. Witten crossing, a good pass to Camden Governo. He had to really kind of get set with his stamina, but he'll enter the zone. Right into the pads, and a save from Wyatt Gelheiser. That was a rocket of a shot from Governo. 1:07 left on the penalty. And the Northmen trying to do their best to get back in a game that they trail in by 2. And off the face-off. Taken around the backside by Witten. Poked away, and it's wrapped around back to the near. Trying to shuffle this puck, and it's taken away by Sonny Arsenal through center. 2-on-2. A good chance for Pascalis. It bounces off the post. And nearly a shorthanded goal that was brewing for the Avengers. Governo trying to bring it across with 35 seconds to go on this penalty. Governo wraps around the backside of the cage. Governo lost his steam going forward, but Gansett Champagne to dump it back in for Governo. Governo trying to make up for the chance, and Pascalis ends up with possession of the puck, and the Avengers clear it back the opposite way. Line change coming for both sides as it's given off to Gravel. Gravel leading that time as it's nearly dumped into the zone. Under 10 seconds on the power play. Tober flips it around the backside, and the Avengers are back to full strength. Dorley out of the box. He clears it, sending it in the opposite direction, and icing going to be the call on the floor. So the Northmen fall short on the power play, and they left a lot out there.
Absolutely. We've seen great chances from the Northmen. Just can't get anything through. Taking maybe a little bit too long on some of these long-distance shots. They got to be a little bit quicker.
Need to take the chance when it presents itself. We see a lot of hesitation sometimes in high school hockey. And a lot of the times, you got to just pull the trigger. Bringing it across, and whistle called. It's going to be offsides. And we'll come back to center for a face-off in neutral ice. And now for the face-off. Avengers come up with the face-off. However, it's poked away and taken into the zone by Logan Witten. Shot rifled in. Wow! Right from the point. That was the 6th of Camden Governo. He just took a shot in the dark, and he ended up finding the daylight. Northmen bring the score within one once again. We're at 4-3. And the Northmen capitalize, but it might be another capitalizing opportunity to get set up. Boudreau, his attack shut down, and the puck poked back in. Matt Madden trying to chase this one as it wraps around the far side and poked past the blue line through neutral ice by Quentin Iliteris. Going back to center. Stopped by Rennick. And Connell trying to play some head games as he leads Governo a little too much. And the Northmen will get a line change. Back at center. Trapped down by Boudreau. Wrapping it around, and the Northmen have a scoring chance once again. This one bounced off the pads of Gelheiser and kept in the zone. Almost at the halfway point of the second half. The score sits at 4-3 off the back of a Northman goal by Camden Governo. On the far side, Gravel somehow comes up with it, trying to bring it around, trying to get some leverage. Gansett Champagne, it bounces off of a couple of defenders' sticks. And trying to set him up all over again. Dumps it back down for Gravel. At the point, Champagne coming down to the face-off dot. Trying to bring it across. Score! Nate Gravel pokes it in at the last second and ties things up. Nate Gravel, call his name and he'll do it again, lighting the lamp. And the comeback has begun as we are all knotted up at 4 apiece.
Quick turnaround here for the Northmen. Repeating the EG magic in the start of the first half, getting it 2 quick goals in quick succession. I believe that was about almost around maybe 2 and change.
And the Northmen continue this strong offensive production to start off. They have 2 unanswered goals to start the second half. East Greenwich looking to do its best to capitalize and get back in the scoring category. Here's a chance, a setup. Wow, it went behind the back of Chase Pascalis. Another one coming down. This one over the top of the net from Dorley. Kiernan No, it's taken away by Witten through center. This one bounced off of Gelheiser and off to the left. Brought back to center by Connell. Gives it off to Pickering. Pickering to dump it into the zone. And it's sent back up that time. And taken through center by Healy. Or no, it's Joseph Andriozzi. Andriozzi sees nothing there. He dumps it off. He'll get it back again. Andriozzi, a nice deep shot hitting the protective glass. Healy. And it escapes him. Puck's displaced as it goes back into the EG side of the ice. Gravel trying to make a play. And we get a whistle. It looks like a delayed penalty. Or instead, we'll get an icing call. We've only seen one overtime game so far. That was EG taking on Cumberland yesterday. Final score in overtime, 2-1 Cumberland. We could potentially be heading for another overtime series, but we can't speak too soon as there's still plenty of time to go in this one. East Greenwich trying to retake the lead. North Smithfield trying to take the lead for the first time today. This shot coming right on net from John Kiernan. And Tremblay does his job to stop the puck dead in its tracks. At center, here come the Northmen. The charge is led by a dump in, and Caden Artitruse trying to meet it first. Artitruse kicking that puck off to the opposite side, and it's met by Tim Madden of East Greenwich. And the Northmen have to dump this one back in as it bounces off of Gelheiser. Madden dumps it up for Kiernan. It escapes Kiernan, and the Northmen regain possession in their own end. Governo, he has a goal in this one so far. He's knocked to the floor as he tried to get a set up. And now it's trapped down and poked back in. Gets past Jackson Boys as Matt Madden wraps it around. Trapped before it reaches the blue line. It'll go back to center. Witten trying to outrun, and he will get it past Dunwoody. Here comes Witten. Witten has the puck poked away from him and checked into the boards from Matt Madden. Some good defense, but here comes Governo. Trying to get the setup, and it escapes Gansett Champaign. Delayed penalty going to go against the East Greenwich. Goaltender has been pulled. The pass up to Governo. All the Avengers need is to touch it, and that'll be the penalty. So North Smithfield gets a much-needed power play with a tied affair. They haven't been able to score a power play goal as of late. And that's going to send number 9, Michael Tober, to the box.
Looks like Tober's going to the box for elbowing, as it'll be the 2-minute minor with 11:58 left to go here in the second half.
11 and change to go, and the Northmen have themselves in prime position to take the lead off the faceoff. Gravel gives it back to Artitruse. Connell rifling one down, and it deflects off to the left. Gravel trying to reassess. He's getting poked a whole bunch by Regnante, and it's poked away, but still in offensive territory. This shot wide to the left by Jackson Boys. Minute and a half to go on the penalty. The Northmen have done a solid job at keeping it in the zone. And it's poked away that time and cleared back to center by the 12 of Lenny Kiernan. Minute and 15 to go as Connell redirects. And this pass a little wide as it gets over to Pickering. Just about a minute to go on the power play. Here come the Northmen. Woodrow back that time to Pickering. Pickering giving it off to Governo. Ricochets off the pads of Gelheiser and net. Wow, Woodrow was trying to get fed there from Connell. Some good defensive effort. Pickering winds up with a hard slap shot, and Governo couldn't finish off the rebound, but the Northmen keep it in play. Connell rifles one from the point, nearly deflected in by Boudreau again, and they'll try one more time. 30 seconds to go. Witten. Ooh, that pass was not intended to go there. It deflected off the skates, and it's cleared effectively by Peter Dorley. 15 seconds to go. Gelheiser's been experiencing a lot of duress. However, they've held strong Northman trying to get one more attack before the end of the penalty. Boudreaux. Nobody's there for the pass, and here comes the Avengers as they clear the puck back to even strength. So the Northmen had some scoring chances, just weren't able to capitalize. The PK unit does a very good job, Nick.
Absolutely, EG, a great job there. Able to keep this one even. North Smithfield keeping that one in for almost the whole duration of the 2-minute minor. Nonetheless, 4-4 it remains with 9:43 left to go.
9:43 to go, and your score sits at 4 apiece. Let's get a word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is sponsored by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For more information and consultation, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And this puck scampers right in front. Wow, nearly a save. Nearly a dangerous situation, as it was nearly poked in that time by the 14 of Nate Gravel. He would have had a hat trick if not. Then finally by our elite recruits with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports for high school athletes looking to play at the next level. Be seen by going to Our Elite Recruits. Visit www.oureliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. Chase Piscalis to bring this puck across. It's blocked by the defender, and the Northmen keep it at their respective play. It's sent back to neutral ice. That time over to Madden. Madden with the feed to Piscalis. Piscalis rifles one off a Tremblay, and Arsenal nearly had a backhanded chance. The right side of the net was completely exposed. Boudreaux trying to chase down Madden, and Madden the first to make contact. Back to center. Arsenal pokes this one into the zone for a dump in. Puck chased around back to the near side. Boudreaux to bring the puck back up through center. Boudreaux, he dumps this one in. A chance right in front, and a little too much velocity, but nearly a setup time for Witten, who was right in front. And a big save from Gelheiser. Northmen keeping the puck in their offensive zone. Gravel whiffs on a slap shot. He'll bring it up himself, sending it behind the net. Our clock a little off as we have under 8 minutes to go in this second half. And this EG attack swallowed up. Artichoke back to center. And Nate Gravel will take it up. Kicking it with the skates. The puck's displaced all over. And Tim Madden finds possession for EG. Wrapped around to the near side in front of the visiting benches. A hard hit right in front. And he appears to be all right, but Arsenal to come off the ice. Keeps it in play. It was nearly a huge scoring opportunity. And taken away by Connell. Back at center. Kiernan. Kiernan with the dump in, giving it off to Cameron Smith. Smith. Hard body check that time from Pickering. He's been playing well defensively all day as Connell sends it the opposite way. And now Smith loses it to Governeau. Governeau leading Caden Artichoke. And in front of the bench, it's dumped in. Tremblay stops the puck, and it's wrapped around to the left side. The Avengers keep it onside off the forecheck. And nearly volleyed down. Piscalis with the possession. Behind the net. Coming back to the far side. Trying to give it off. Poked away as Kiernan couldn't find it. And then Piscalis needs some assistance. Andriozzi struggling to maintain the puck. And it's going to go back into EG's side of the ice. And we'll get, and no icing to be called as they managed to get a man onside just in time for North Smithfield. And this one volleyed back to center. Piscalis poking the puck along. And sent back in the other direction. This one sent at Gelheiser. Another one coming down. Gelheiser makes the save. That time Boyes and crew couldn't get to the puck in time off the rebound. And they're fortunate that the Avengers are fortunate they didn't. Gansett Champagne sends a rocket a little wide. And another one comes down wrapped around the backside. This game getting so contested and physical as Piscalis lays one into Gansett Champagne. And dumped into the zone. Avengers and icing the ball on the floor. Let's get a word from our sponsors at Precision Home Lending.
Want to close your home purchase or refinance faster? Contact me, David Delbonis, at 401-487-7379, President Precision Home Lending. Trust the experts and we'll make your loan experience amazing.
Just about 5.5 to go in the second half. Gelheiser makes the save immediately. So we'll face off on that right side face-off dot one more time. Avengers come up with the win and redirecting and eventually dumping it off back to the near side boards. And it's brought back, nope, maintains possession in the Avengers side of the ice and passed up to Tober, poked away and dumped back into the zone, that time from Pickering. Redirecting and a whistle called to stop play where you got a delayed penalty. And the culprit, number 7 of Sonny Arsenal, he's going to hit the box. And it's going to be a minor for interference. 5:05 left to go. And puck poked away. The Northmen keep it in. That one volleyed down by Boyes. And feed to Nate Gravel. Gravel sends this one back up to Connell at the top of the zone. And this one cleared. East Greenwich's PK unit doing its job. Pickering wraps it around the backside, back to the near. Cutting through center. And poked away. Great job by Healy. And he sends one right at Tremblay as the Avengers get a line change. Connell led Jackson Boyes a little too much. No icing as they were onside. Drops the stick, and the Avengers needed that. However, a good chance, and it goes a little wide to the right behind Gelheiser's cage. Wraps around the backside here. And Lenny Kiernan through center. Poked around and brought into the zone that time by Chase Piscalis. Now good scoring opportunity for Tober, a little wide to the right on a shorthanded attempt. 50 seconds to go, another shot coming down that time from Matt Madden. And this puck trapped at the blue line and dumped in. The PK unit doing a strong job of keeping the puck to their advantage. And it's intercepted by Matt Madden, or excuse me, that's Chase Piscalis. Off to the near side, intercepted by Governo, but poked away. Good defensive effort from Kiernan, and he gives it off to Tober. Tober wide to the right of Tremblay with 20 seconds to go on the power play. And cleared back through center. And there's the whistle. The Northmen will force an icing. Let's get one final word from today's game sponsors. Today's game is brought to you in part by Joseph Lammy, 696 Reservoir Ave in Cranston, Rhode Island. For consultation and information, go to josephlammy.com. Joseph Lammy, attorney at law. And by our elite recruits, with access to 3,000 schools and 80,000 coaches across 38 NCAA sports. For high school athletes looking to play at the next level, be seen by going to our elite recruits. Go to www.oureliterecruits.com to sign up for more information. Back at center, poked away. And now being brought up and dumped up. Andriozzi with the pass off to Healy. Mike Healy, wide open lane. Andriozzi a little wide to the right on the pass. Couldn't take the chance. Arsenal in the slot. Healy tried to poke it in, and it was ricocheted off to the right. Gravel clears this one for the Northmen. Only 2:40 left to go in regulation. And if we're still tied up, we will hit overtime. Arsenal rifles one off to the left of Tremblay. And Connell dumps it in the opposite direction. Dorley meets it at center. And the tip off that time to Matt Madden. And Arsenal crossing that blue line. Let a man too much, and it's going to go around in the opposite direction. They'll come back to the near side. And now on the far side board. Witten trying to patrol it back to center. Gets it off to Camden Governo. Across ice. Trying to travel around the backside of the net as he holds possession with one hand. Connell sends it back to Governo. Governo being checked away by Madden and a smashing of others. Needs some assistance that time. Witten unable to come up with it, but it's dumped around to Pickering. Pickering, that time to Boudreau and poked back to center from Kiernan. And we get a whistle on the floor, icing, with about a minute and a half remaining in this one. Nearly able to write the conclusion on this one, but we're not there just yet. We need a score. This one off the left. And rifled down. Sent back in the opposite way. Gravel. Nate Gravel. Back up to Connell. Connell sends this one down back to Gravel. And Gravel unable to come up with the possession. And it's cleared back to center ice. A good chance. Healy trying to set one up. Oh, it hits the backside of the net. The whole right side was exposed. That is the 5 of Cale Dunwoody. Couldn't finish off the deal. He'll give it to Dunwoody, who dumps it in. Behind the blue line, Connell has under a minute to go. He passes it up to Gravel. Nate Gravel trying to deke and dunk a little bit. Brings it around the back of the net before he wraps it around for the 17. That shot knocked down in the air. And needing assistance, it's clear back at center. Champagne with the dump in. Northman getting a line change. 25 seconds to go in this period, and it's sent back to center. Healy up to Madden. And puck still dangling. It's displaced. It's Piscalis and crew are trying to come up with it. Madden sends this one down. Another one coming at the net from Arsenal. And that will send us to overtime. We are all knotted up at 4 apiece here from Levy Ice Rink in the Burrillville Holiday Classic of Game 1 of Day 2. Northman 4, Avengers 4. We'll take a quick break and be back for the start of overtime. In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
In, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
In, and oh, the ball's loose. He'll cough it back up, and he'll get across for the touchdown.
Rodriguez rolls out to his right, throws it back in the end zone, intercepted in the back of the end zone.
In, fires, deflected, no, rebound, score!
The handball shot off the post, score!
Let's try a kick, goes in!
Taken away on a stretcher shot, score!
Cornell down the field, end zone! That is a touchdown!
And we're back for the start of overtime. 5 minutes on the board. EG's second overtime period. These overtime periods will have 3 men on the ice. And we'll see which side will take the win. Both teams are winless in the tournament so far, and it's brought across first by the Northmen. The shot a little wide to the left. Arsenal the first to meet it. Sends it behind the back to Healy. Healy, it's poked away by the defender, but Healy will come up with the possession. 2-on-1 chance. Andriozzi on the right. Healy to Andriozzi, takes the chance. And Tremblay makes a great save falling to his behind with 4:35 to go. Wow, that could have finished the deal right then and there, Nick.
Absolutely, and As you can see, repping some of the Christmas swag. Those look like new pads to me. Do you think there's a...
They very well could be.
Those are the whitest goalie pads I have probably seen. That is probably why they are brand new.
Healy into the slot. He'll go off to the left side face-off dot, having Witten and Chase. Get some help from Andriozzi. Checked a bit. Breakaway chance coming for Boudreau. He's got one man to beat, now two, and they shake him off a bit. Arsenal around the backside, trying to get Andriozzi involved. And poked back in the opposite direction. Andriozzi, the feed to Healy, who gets it to Sonny Arsenal. Arsenal trying to get set. He'll send one at Tremblay, a little wide to the right. And now Healy back down. Arsenal feeding it over that time for Piscalis. Excuse me, wrapped around inside shot, score! Mike Tober, and that will do it. East Greenwich comes up with the win. Final score in the matchup, 5-4 in overtime. And the East Greenwich Avengers pick up their first win at the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Final thoughts in this one, Nick, before we say goodbye.
Well, North Smithfield obviously switched it up between the halves. I know I said before half they have to step it up defensively. Great job defensively. Throughout the back half of that second half, it felt like EG was on the back foot. 2 quick goals from North Smithfield tied it up at 4, and it stayed that way until the overtime. For EG,
and it was just a great game all around. The Avengers led this one 4-2 going into the second half. Northman stormed back to tie things up, but couldn't finish the deal, and EG walks away with the victory here in this one off the back of Mike Tober and a dashing of others. Thank you all for tuning into this first game of the Burrillville Holiday Classic. Up next, we've got Moses Brown taking on Burrillville, followed by Cumberland versus Ponagansett. Don't miss. Go to fansonlysports.com to buy your streaming passes there. But until then, Nick Carlson, I'm Chris E2, signing off on this one. We'll catch you all next time. Final score in the matchup, 5-4 is the